Ashley Fissenden from Notjustboxing here with Johnny Nelson. Johnny, another fight week, the first for Ring Magazine. How excited are you for this one?
I am really excited, actually. It's a very good card. We've got Crispin and Smith in the ring at the moment. I think he's got Brandon Glanton. Good fight, that is. Good fight to start the night. So it'll be good to see Chris back in action, to see where he stands in the landscape of the cruiserweights, how effective he is or isn't still. But then the build-up, we all know what we're here for. We're getting excited about the Benn and Eubank fight. That's, everybody has an opinion.
You just saw Brandon there on the pads. Looks pretty powerful, doesn't he?
I think he's very strong. I think he's really strong. He does get hit a lot, but then so does Chris. And so therefore, I don't think he'll go the distance, but I think it'll be a brutal fight as long as it lasts. And so I'm just curious just to see how it falls. I think Chris will be the toughest out of the two of them, but I'll be surprised. I think that'll finish with a concussive knockout. The referee won't be saving anybody. I think it'll be a concussive knockout.
So Brandon's beat a Russian in his backyard, a Frenchman in his backyard, and now he's here in England for the first time.
He's a giant slayer. He's a giant slayer as far as he's concerned. I like fighters that are willing to travel, to put it on people in their own backyard. I think we were down in Brighton, and he was putting it on Isaac Chamberlain, and I was just like, I don't even know who you are, man. I like that because not many fighters are comfortable going to someone's backyard doing that.
Definitely. So next up, I just want to touch upon, well, I'm just going to jump between all of them, but Aaron McKenna and Liam Smith.
Oh, what a fight, man. What a fight. We know all about Liam Smith. Liam's got so much pedigree on McKenna. Is this the passing of the torch? Or does Liam Smith just know too much for him? McKenna, we know he's a warmonger. He wants to have a tear-up. We saw him get turned on, but then we know what kind of heart he's got. We saw him on stage yesterday together, and he just didn't care. He was trying to look down on Liam, and Liam's like, behave yourself, son. But, you got the young lion against the old lion, and so will Liam be just too smart for him coming in?
Yeah, and Aaron's another one who's travelled a lot. He left Ireland early to go to America just to turn into a man. Spent a lot of time in LA. Do you think that experience that he's had, having those wars in America, prepped him perfectly?
That makes him so different from any UK fighter, because UK fighters are not willing to do that, not willing to take themselves away on their own, not willing to put himself in that situation. That's why you got to respect him, and that's why he doesn't respect other fighters, because he thinks, I've been in deeper waters than you. Are you mad? So we'll see.
So the Yard Arthur rematch. People are sitting on the fence. A lot of people are moaned, why is it happening? But it is 1-1.
It's a good fight, and you know what? The other thing is this. I work with Yard. Just walking out. I work with Yard on Sky, covering the Boazzi fight, and his enthusiasm, his hunger, his attitude, it's refreshing. He loves doing what he does. He loves his job. Now, and again, against Lyndon Arthur's never been in the limelight. He's never been that forefront runner where everybody's talking about his name. So then, again, it's a great platform for them both to up themselves.
Mm-hmm. And since he fought Yard and got stopped, he has been in the likes of Dimitri Bivol. So that experience he's had.
You can only go by your last fight. And I wasn't impressed by his last performance, if I'm honest with you. But maybe it's about fights that elevate you, that you bring the best out in yourself.
But a lot of people also weren't happy with Yard's last fight too.
Without a doubt, and again, that's what I'm saying to you. With the both of them, you just got to think to yourself, what have you got left? Are you two going to bring the best out in each other? These two are familiar with each other, and when they're being familiar with each other, that's they know if they're strong enough, if they're fast enough, what they got away with last time, what didn't last time. So I think these two won't have to be worried about looking for each other.
And I remember in the first fight, Yard didn't cut the ring off. He followed him around for 12 rounds.
He's done that before. He's done it again since then. And that's why. Has he learned anything? So Tunde's got to get in his head. Come on, cut the ring off. Show him what you do in the gym. So that's what we got to look out for.
If you're in Lyndon Arthur's corner and you've been part of his camp, what would you be telling him going into this?
Say it again?
If you were in Lyndon Arthur's camp training for this trilogy, what would you be telling him? What would you be working on?
Well, you know he knows what won him the fight in the first place. He knows what mistakes he made the last time. So now, if I was in his corner, I'd say use your boxing ability. When he tries to walk you down, use your movement, use your boxing your tactics. Let the shots go, then move off. You know, he wants to get into a war, and you want to get into war. Not when he wants to get into war. Just take the rhythm away from him. If he takes the rhythm away from him, you're going to struggle to get into a flow. That's what I would tell him.
Mm-hmm. So, obviously, we've just heard Vidal Riley get called out there. Another great fight, honestly. But Vidal Riley, Chevron Clark, you've got Clark that's coming off of a loss. Vidal actually said he thought Clark won that fight. I actually said to Chev, you fast-tracked your career, and he said, well, what do you mean by fast-tracked? I'm fighting guys that I should be in with already, which resonated with me.
I like Chev. He's not blown away with all this nonsense that's happening around. I like his appetite, I like his attitude, I like his hunger. And so Vidal is a really good talent. I think his career hasn't moved at the pace I think it should have moved at. I don't know if it's through choice or if it's through injury, I don't know, but he's a very good talent, Vidal. And I don't want him to end up like Joshua Buatsi. Joshua Buatsi is a very, very good talent, but it seemed like he wasn't consistent enough. So therefore, I think he underachieved. He has underachieved up to this point in his career. And I don't want that to be for Vidal, because Vidal's a good fighter. And so you learn by everybody else's careers.
So many people overlook him because of his fame and content creator and being a coach of KSI and all these things, but won the national title multiple times, great amateur career. He is a legit contender.
And that's what I'm saying, and he's changed his mindset, he's changed everything, thinking, you know what, I'm going to make you respect me. And that's what he has to. When he gets in the ring, he gets the job done. He gets the job done. No nonsense, and that's what I like.
And I rate how he's not turned down any fight. The fact he was going to fight Isaac Chamberlain last time out as well. Yeah. You know, I respect anyone that's just taking anything, and now he's fighting on his own doorstep in Tottenham.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying again. You know, and that's why all these fighters on this bill know it's a big bill. It's a great bill to be on here in the UK. Probably 65,000 people there that be at Tottenham. Why would you not want to box on this bill? Why would you not want to try and steal the night and steal the thunder? So every fighter on there, they'll be curious about the top of the bill, but they'll also want to make their own mark.
So let's talk about the main event. Everyone's changed their mind multiple times. I think since seeing Conor's camp this time round, there's a lot more people that are backing him just from seeing the shape that he's in. Do you see that as a bit of smoke and mirrors?
Well, in reality, you know, you look at the two of them, and I said before, I've always been a massive fan of Conor Benn. I thought he was one of the fastest improving fighters we saw coming through. Unfortunately, hit the stumps in his career, so therefore he had things outside his career that unfortunately stopped his development, in my opinion. Now, so basically, he's not boxed for 15 months. You know, he's boxed I don't think he's boxed often enough to see the best of him. So now it's a case of he's getting in there with a guy that's naturally 2 weights bigger than him, and now he's got to make up for 15 months outside the ring and the time he's lost, and he's got to really turn it on. Now on paper, he's not competed on the same caliber. On paper, he's a career welterweight. On paper, this should all lean towards Eubank. On paper, but I wasn't impressed with Eubank's last fight. So it's a case of, is the timing right? It's just a fight that brings the best out in both fighters. We don't know.
Definitely. And how do you see it going?
You know what? I'm struggling. I'm going to wait to the weigh-in, because when I get to the weigh-in and I see the condition of Chris, that'll tell me more than anything. Because you might be able to get down to the weigh, but it's how you are when you're down at the weigh. And then if you look really good, no matter what you do the next day, it's not going to be enough. And the thing is this: don't be surprised if when it comes to that check weigh-in, at whatever time it is in the morning. Yeah. Don't be surprised if he's over the check weight. I'll say, stuff it, I'll pay the fine, take it. I'm not losing to that boy, because no matter what, this fight's happening. No matter what it's happening. So don't be surprised if that check weighing don't mean jack diddly to Chris. The thing, I ain't doing it, because it'd be really hard. Because you can put £10 on with one drink and a bit of fruit. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. So Chris, everyone's saying how much he's got left, 35 years old, all of this, but he's lived the life of a fighter. He's disciplined. He shows all the facade of fame and going playing poker and that, but he trains hard, he eats healthy, and I think, again, he's another person that will turn up at KFC, but you know full well he's...
Well, you've got to look at both fighters. Both fighters are supremely fit. Both fighters love training. Both fighters have an amazing engine. So they match perfectly. I don't think fitness is going to be an issue in this fight whatsoever. It's going to be down to skills. It's going to be down to desire, and a little seasoning of luck. That's what it's down to. Fitness has nothing to do with it. So to me, that's not even in the question.
And what's next for the winner out of this? I know obviously they've got the rematch clause and stuff.
They've got a rematch, but I believe depending on how the loss is inflicted on the other, that's a big question mark. The other is, if Chris loses, legitimately loses, I think he'll walk away. He won't be able to live with it. And I know they've got a rematch clause. I think he'll walk away. He might walk away because the rematch clause is a big deal. We saw it with Liam Smith. We saw what happened in the first fight, then he came on the second time round. But I think he'd walk away. I don't think he'd be able to handle losing to a career welterweight after the career he's had.
Definitely, and the way they've obviously had both dads involved, I know Chris has been from afar but having his say. Do you think that's going to play in Conor's favour as well, or do you think that's all out the window?
This is only news to us now. That's been going on for however long with the father and the son. So we're talking about it a lot because it's only just news to us. But in reality, you know, that's their business at home. Whatever goes in their house is their business at home. What we've seen spill out is you've seen a father chastise his son. Not a manager chastising his fighter, not a promoter just chastising someone he's invested in. A father chastising his son. We've all been cussed out by our parents, just not in front of thousands of people.
Did you watch the Piers Morgan interview?
I did, yeah.
What did you take of it? It got very personal at times. Like, for me, just as a fan...
I think Chris conducted himself brilliantly. I think he conducted both Piers and Conor brilliantly. And he was very mature, so I've got a rating for it.
Well, thank you for your time. We'll go watch you have a workout. I appreciate you, mate. Thank you.
No problem.